Welcome back. I'm sure you are now much more confident when it comes to calculation of depreciation. When you are calculating depreciation, then obviously something crops up. What is that? Asset disposal. And I can immediately feel the reaction. Oh, not asset disposal again. But again, if you have a system in place, if you work systematically, if you prepare yourself for the adjustment, come on, asset disposal is a piece of cake, chocolate cake. So you know what's my favorite, don't you? Okay, let's go for it. Asset disposal. Whenever you're confronted with an asset disposal transaction, what is it that you need to do? Number one, draw up a table. And in this table, indicate your depreciation, indicate the cost price of the asset that you are disposing of, put in the accumulated depreciation, and notice alongside accumulated, you always find a plus sign. Put in the carrying value, the selling price, and then finally, the profit or loss on sale of asset. Now, remember something. I will prove to you that without making a single accounting entry, you will be able to determine exactly whether you have made a profit or a loss on sale of asset. But let's see what we're going to be doing now. When it comes to the first component, namely the depreciation, it has a double entry. And that double entry is a debit to depreciation. We've alluded to this in our earlier segments. What type of an account is depreciation? Remember, depreciation is an imputed expense. What do we mean by that? It's an expense that does not affect the flow of funds. No money is changing hands. And you are crediting accumulated depreciation. In other words, you are now increasing your negative asset. And that is important. Okay, how does that impact on my table? If you look at your table, you will find that alongside accumulated depreciation, you put in a plus sign. There goes. And therefore, it's telling you you have to add it to your accumulated depreciation. Next entry, the asset disposal. We're now dealing with the cost price. So let's put it there, the cost price. Debit asset disposal. A question arises. What type of an account is asset disposal? Certainly, asset disposal is an interim nominal account. Let me clarify this for you. Asset disposal is an interim nominal account. In other words, you open up this account in order to calculate whether you have made a profit on sale of asset or whether you have incurred a loss on sale of asset, and this account will then self-destruct. In other words, it will close off. Watch the space. You'll see what will happen. So there's my entry. A debit to asset disposal. Why? Because I'm transferring the cost price. I'm transferring the cost price of my asset into my asset disposal account. There's my asset disposal account, and there you will see the transfer of the cost price of my asset. At the same time, I'm crediting my asset account. Why is that? Because I'm disposing of this asset. I'm taking it out of my asset account, and therefore I'm crediting the asset to reduce its value. So therefore, you can clearly see that double entry. Next one. Whatever you do with a positive, you do with a negative as well. Giving rise to my entry, a debit to accumulated depreciation and a credit to my asset disposal. Once again, there's your asset disposal account. You recall from the previous slide, we had the cost price there, right? And here, obviously, you now have the accumulated depreciation. Now remember, The detail here will obviously be vehicles. Now, you find me abbreviating. I have a license to do that. You don't. So you do not abbreviate in the exams or anywhere in your books at school. Clear, guys? So my double entry, a debit to accumulated depreciation and a credit to my asset disposal. So I've transferred everything into my asset disposal account. Now the carrying value, the third component. What entry is there for the carrying value? Very, very, very important. No entry. That's right. Let me take you back here. This one here is of particular importance. This one, this carrying value has no entry in our books, but a very important 3 must be placed there. Why? Because in note number 3, you're going to say disposal at carrying value, not the selling price, not the cost price, but the carrying value. That's right. We know now that with carrying value, we're not going to make an entry. Right? So there's it. We're on target with asset disposal. We're getting all hyped up because we understand it, don't we? So if we want to know more, stay tuned. See you in a while.